Are you still having an issue with strumming? If you are, if you're like 99% of the folks out there, you'll hear me say that a lot because it's just true, then I've got the medicine for what ails you. And here's what it is. So, you know, we talked about having these ghost strums on the up strum, which wasn't that big of a deal, right? Or the upbeat. But gosh darn it, when we brought those ghost strums for the down strum, right, for the down beat, it was a little bit awkward, and you may still be struggling with that. I've seen most of my students struggle with this in the beginning. It's just inherent in us, and I think partially because we're so used to the heavy beat being on the down strum that it's weird for us to just not do anything and put our hand down here. I'm sure there's some sort of phenomenon as to why that's going on, but as far as I can guess, it's because of the strong beat, we want to do something. We want to hit that beat, but if we don't, it's a little bit awkward. So what I found is that if you replace the strum with something, what I mean by that is either tapping your thigh, you know, your knee, or the pick guard on your guitar, that if you do that in lieu of the actual ghost strum, so you're going to miss the strings, but you add that as well, then what happens is your brain says, oh yeah, I know what to do there. I can do that. And so I promise you, this is going to help out a lot. So watch this. If we're going to leave out the 4, the downbeat of 4, and let's say we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? And let's say we're having a problem with that. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to say, okay, on 4, I'm going to tap my knee or my thigh, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? What I want you to do is just do this one time through. So you don't have to do it with me. You can do it afterwards. Doesn't matter if you want to do it with me. Here we go. 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and knee and. You can even say knee. That will help you remember. 1 and 2 and 3 and knee and. Okay? I know it sounds silly, but I promise you that if you're having issues with strumming and you do this a few times, you're paving that path, like I said, that you need to pave in your brain in order to do the strumming right. Every time you mess up, you're building a different path. A path that we don't want to go down. It's building a bad habit. It's just the way habits are, okay? So what we want to do is we want to do it the right way, even if we have to do a little bit of cheating here, okay? And then what happens is we're going to take the training wheels off and you're not going to have to do it as much, okay? In fact, you won't have to do it at all. So here we go. Now another thing you can do is just take your hand or your pick and hit the pick guard. So on 4, you could say pick or something like that, and you can go 1 and 2 and 3 and pick, and 1 and 2 and 3 and hit. You know, you could say something there, or not say anything at all. Just know that 4 you're going to replace with that sound. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now, it's good to do one time. You want to make sure that you can do it 1 or 2 times through without messing up. And the reason being, again, is we're building a habit. If I have you looping this right away, which means doing it over and over and over again, if I have you doing that and you mess up the first few times, you're building a habit, right? So we want to, right out of the gate, establish a good habit, do it the correct way. Then once you do it a few times just by itself like this, 1 and 2 and 3 and I waited there, but 1 and 2 and 3 and not so fast, but you'll do it something like that. Then once you do that a few times, then you know you've got it. Then what I want you to do is I want you to do it in a loop, because realistically we don't just play one measure. I don't think there's any songs out there that are 1 measure long. They're usually several hundred measures long. So what we want to do is we want to say 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, you want to think about your hand as if it's a grandfather clock. 1 and 2 and 3 and blank, and 1 and 2 and 3 and and 1. Okay, so whether you're hitting or not, it's constantly swinging. It's a pendulum. Okay, and like a pendulum doesn't do this. Okay, it doesn't stall. It doesn't go, I don't know which way to go. But if we're strumming this way, we're building that habit. We don't want to do that, okay? So, again, really important that you just think about this hand just moving constantly. 1 and 2 and 3 and blank and 1 and 2 and 3 and, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to wean yourself from that. So once you get it, okay, once you're done hitting your knee, maybe bring it to the pick guard and do it there. Then, every time you hit the pick guard, each time hit it slightly lighter. Or do something else, say something, just something to keep you out from doing this all the time. Because you're not going to be on stage doing this, and I've never seen any of my students get stuck where they just have to keep doing this, okay? It's something that you can work out of very quickly. It's just a little quick cheat to get you someplace, but it's a good cheat, okay? We shouldn't even call it a cheat. It's just a way to really get your brain wrapped around this concept, okay? So anytime you experience a down strum where you have to do a ghost strum, okay? Try this where you're hitting the guitar, you're hitting your knee or something, saying something out loud in order to help you with this, all right? I promise you, you're gonna do great at this. If you've had any difficulty with levels 3, 4, and 5, do this right now. Don't move on to anything else. We really wanna make sure that we get our strumming down. The more that you do these beginner exercises, the better you're gonna be. If you try to rush to do the advanced stuff, number one, you're not gonna use very often. This stuff you're gonna use all the time, every single day. So you really want to make sure this stuff is down. That's the cool thing about this, is that these foundational bits, you're going to use so much throughout your playing. The advanced stuff is cool. We definitely want to get there. We definitely want to be more than just a basic player, right? But we're building a foundation here, and just like you know, a regular house, it's like if you just had a foundation, that wouldn't be very good. You know, you're still going to get rained on. But a house without a foundation is not going to be there very long. It's going to get washed away by the rain. So very important that we build this foundation. So take your time with this. Slow and steady wins the race. You're going to be frustrated at times. Your fingers are going to hurt. You're just going to keep pushing through. Okay? You're going to get this. All right? Let's keep going.